Hello and welcome to Gaming with Wolves. I'm Roy.
I'm Dave.
Today we're going to do a little episode on emergent storytelling and emergent storytelling in video games and a little bit of board games. I'll bring that into it as well.
That's cool.
So we'll get into that in a minute, but we've got a little bit of news to go through first of all.
Yeah.
You know, Nintendo has announced this pocket Gameboy.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and it's a $70 mini Game Boy, right? Get this.
All right.
And it's designed as a jukebox to only play Pokemon.
Well, there's no point. I may as well spend that and buy a real Game Boy.
Yeah, it's for $70. But basically,
Ouch.
it's a Pokemon jukebox with... Like I said, that's designed to be a jukebox with dozens of cartridges that play Pokemon music from 30 years ago.
Thanks.
Nintendo announced a miniature version of its legendary Game Boy that's actually a kind of retro jukebox. So it looks like a Game Boy, only smaller. Sounds like a Game Boy.
Cool.
It looks like a duck,
that.
Quacks like a duck.
Yeah.
And comes with classic looking cartridges, though these only play tunes from the original Pokemon game's soundtrack. Now,
Lavender
I've
Town.
got thoughts about this, yeah. First of all, why?
Why? What's the point?
What the...
Yeah, it's pointless.
Go home, Nintendo, you drunk.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But also, why... you're doing something as niche as... You've got a console, that's fine. You've got a kind of... And there was a trend of mini consoles, which I kind of I went into down the rabbit hole a little bit. You had the mini Super Famicoms or Super Nintendos, the mini Mega Drives, that caught on.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to catch on the same way.
No.
Right?
It's basically just an MP3 player.
A very restrictive MP3 player that only plays Pokemon.
Yeah. Only plays chip tunes.
$70. I mean, but
wow.
So
collector's item in the future though, because no one's going to buy one.
I'm just going to address the elephant in the horse here, and why just restrict it to Pokemon? It's niche enough, right, with just playing audio.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose
the games had sound.
Yes, it's funny enough, yeah. But the thing is, they've got so many wicked soundtracks to pull from. How about having a bit of Castlevania in there, a bit of Area 88 and a bit of Street Fighter 2?
Yeah.
There's some great soundtracks on Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
Not just Mario. F-Zero,
all the soundtracks on that.
Yeah, what are they playing? Like I said, go home, Nintendo, you drunk. You got little game bloody cartridge you plug in, and why do you need to do that? Couldn't it just be an audio file on the bloody thing?
That'd be so much easier.
Why do you need to plug a cartridge in? Is this the 1980s or something?
Yes, we've gone back in time.
I'm down with that.
I'm down with that. Yeah, let's go and buy all the hardware we can get hold of.
Let's just pretend we live in the 1980s, right?
Yeah, I'm up for that.
There's people online they kind of do a whole lifestyle thing where they restrict themselves technologically, and they only wear clothes from a certain period. So they're there's people who just for a week or something, just do 80s technology and 80s clothes and 80s music and 80s everything as if they're living in the 80s.
I've still got a Walkman.
But it's not.
It's not Walkman, so I'm fine for music.
Well, yeah, me too. Yeah, good point. And a Discman was early 90s, so
yeah.
Actually, late 80s.
Oh, 89, wouldn't
80,
it?
Yeah. And do you know who featured on the soundtrack to the Discman, Sony Discman?
No, I don't know.
One of my favourite musicians, Joe Satriani.
Oh, cool.
Summer Song.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Yeah.
That is very nice.
Got to seek that soundtrack down. But anyway, we digress.
Yeah.
I'm down with living in the 80s, but when it comes to these gimmicky things, what are they doing?
Yeah.
So let's move on to some other news. You got some other news you were talking about?
Yeah. If you ever wanted to make your own Nintendo 64 game, now is the time to start thinking about doing it.
Cool. What's the thing called?
It's called Pyrite 64.
Pyrite 64.
Pyrite 64. Because it's
Pyrite.
spelt wrong.
Yeah, cool.
It is a game engine similar to Unity, Godot, Unreal Engine.
Yeah. Okay.
And it makes Nintendo 64 ROMs.
Ah, nice. Okay. That sounds really cool, actually.
It does. 3D gaming for the N64. It uses C++ or I think it uses nodes instead of programming as well. Or both.
Yeah.
So you can chop and change.
That sounds really good.
It's really early in its development at the moment.
Yeah,
it's been out a few weeks. Yeah.
But that looks really interesting. Pyrite 64 visual editor and runtime engine to create 3D games that can run on real N64 console or accurate emulators. Besides the usual editor, some extra features include automatic toolchain installation on Windows, 3D model import, GLTF, from Blender with FAST64 material support for HDR and bloom rendering, support for big texture rendering, that's 256 by 256, runtime engine handling scene management, rendering, collision, audio and more, global asset management and automatic memory cleanup, and Node graphic editor to script basic control flow. It looks really cool, actually. So I think we need to cover some of these homebrews more on the channel.
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
we did sort of the Altered Beast 2, didn't we?
Yeah,
which did pretty well.
Yeah,
people seem to go on. Sorry.
Yeah, that was really fun. I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it, and like you could see the potential, couldn't you? It wasn't fully there, but you could see the vision, and I think sometimes it's nice to do that, to see something in sort of beta stages and see how it develops. It's like you're along for the ride almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely have to feature more homebrews on the channel, I think.
Good. Yeah, and soon there'll be, well, hopefully soon, there'll be a Mega Drive editor.
Yeah.
Called MD Engine.
Oh, nice.
It's not out yet.
Yeah.
They are going to charge for it, unfortunately. But it's supposed to be a no-code thing. Like, very closely built on Gameboy Studio.
Cool.
So,
So what
should be amazing, that.
What will this mean, like, for gaming in general and people creating games and stuff like that?
So much easier instead of trying to code every last little bit. You'll be able to just, I'll plot that there, put that there. Let's see how it runs.
Yeah. That's cool. So yeah, look out for that. We'll put links in the description if you're interested in that. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, that should be cool.
So next topic I want to talk about is emergent storytelling in gaming. So this is specifically, I want to talk about how games have developed and how emergent storytelling and narrative storytelling has evolved over the years. So I thought it'd be a nice topic to delve into.
Oh, definitely.
So first of all, we'll just talk a little bit about emergent storytelling versus narrative storytelling. So when I talk about narrative storytelling, I'm specifically talking about like The Last of Us, things like that, where it's sort of usually on rails, but not always. But you've got like a narrative thread where the narrative is sort of set in stone with a script, and it moves from scene to scene, and the beats are very sort of cinematic, almost like a film. So you go from point A to point B, gives you a bit more of a story, may unlock a little bit more of the story as you go along, and there's a story arc, but there's a story arc that's pre-written by a writer that you follow. So that's narrative storytelling. Emergent storytelling is when you are playing a game and the game mechanisms organically bring about a story. Yeah. Let me give you a little example. So there's a board game that I like to play called XIII, Legends of the Drift System. Cool. So this was released in 2014 by Cody Miller. And I think it was his first game, which is like really good. It was kickstarted. Cool. And it had these like little miniatures, pre-painted miniatures. It's a board game, but it plays very much like a video game almost. Like it's an open world. Oh, cool. So you kind of go through space, and you start off like meager beginnings with like a class 1 ship. Cool. And then you upgrade to a class 2 ship and class 3 ship. Yeah. And as you're going up, you so you have so you can pick from like about 10 different ships, right? Yeah. And you pick your ship, and each ship has got a specific power, and they've all got the pros and cons, and so it's all asymmetric.
Oh, cool.
When you level up to level 2, you keep the power from the first level, and you add it to the level 2.
Oh, cool.
So you're kind of building almost a tech tree. And by the time you get to level 3, you've got like a ship with 3 different distinct powers that you've combined.
Cool.
And some of the other things is like you have cargo. I'll briefly talk about it. You have cargo where you can kind of like, it's almost like you Tetris the shapes onto your ship. And you can Tetris on shields or guns or cargo. And you have to sort of like decide what you want more of.
Cool.
And so you kind of going through space, you're exploring space, and you start off with just a few tiles, and then you explore, and you can either scan a tile to go into the next tile, or you can run straight into it, and you can actually run into the sun and blow your ship up. That's one of the things. So do you scan and like play it safe, or speed ahead, reveal loads of tiles, and then
hope for the best.
Hope for the best. Yeah. But
fingers crossed. Here we go.
So the good thing about that game is that it's a great sort of sandbox almost for emergent storytelling. So there is little bits of story, like where you pick up, say, if you pick up a job, you can sort of do a pick up deliver thing where you've got pick up an alien and they want to go over to a different planet.
Cool.
But it kind of gets out of the way. And it allows you to play the game how you want. So you can be a taxi driver. So you could say, sod this, I'm just going to be a taxi driver the whole game. Cool. So you can do that. You can just go from point A to point B. And that's a valid way of winning, because you can generate points, you can get money from doing that. Or you can say, you know what, that's not for me, I'm going to be a merchant. So you can be a merchant and actually kind of sell goods. You can extract goods from asteroids and ice comets, or go on a planet and get relics and stuff like that. Cool. And you can sell it to other planets. So you could just be a merchant, right?
That's cool.
You can do all these kind of things, or you can be explorer. So you can, I'm not going to do any of those things. You can go exploring, or you can say, "So that I'm going to be a pirate." All of these merchants that kind of like stocking up on all these goods. I'm going to wait outside the planet and I'm going to blast the shit out of the ship, annihilate them, and then there's little NPCs that go after you. It's a really cool game. So, but one of the cool things about this is that there's very little narrative in it, but the narrative happens organically. So, like, just as I said, like you may kind of develop a little story for your character. Like, he's a merchant and he comes from a long line of merchants and he wants to, kind of like go out into the galaxy and, I don't know, like try and find the finest materials and silks to share with the whole world, and something like that. And then you can have a pirate whose sole purpose is to gain fame and become the most notorious pirate. And like little things within the mechanisms bring out this emergent storytelling. For instance, if a player wants to play it safe, they can sort of like go through the main entrance of a planet.
That's cool.
Or because there's like a shield around the planet.
Right.
So, or you can try and smash through the shields, right?
That you're going to make yourself real popular.
You can either, and that either alerts the authorities or not.
Or not.
Wrecks your ship or not. And if you get a natural 20 on the dice, you instantly get a fame point, because your fame is recognised and told about throughout the whole of the planet.
Wow.
So
it's like breaking the law.
Exactly. So do you kind of go for broke and fame and glory at the risk of everything, or do you play it safe and just like kind of slow and steady wins the race sort of thing? But I think these kind of mechanisms really lend itself to emergent storytelling, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But I think we've seen a trend lately with a lot of games being open world. So there's a lot of, like, obviously it started with Elder Scrolls, and that the progression was quite sort of, and then we have Fallouts, and then you've got your Cyberpunks and so forth. So in these types of games, you've got sort of a marriage of the two almost, haven't you? So you've got your narrative, where you have like little quests that you need to do and people talk to you, but then you have emergent storytelling in sometimes brought out by the random ways that NPCs behave.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what I wanted to talk about. I think some of the emergent storytelling in games in recent years sort of emerged through happenstance, through sort of like this, let's call it joyous jank.
Yeah, I like that.
Joyous
I like
jank.
that. Yeah,
so
very true. Yeah.
As a lot of you probably already know, there's been a remastered version of Oblivion, and Bethesda. It's Bethesda, isn't it? Yeah, Bethesda.
Yeah.
I was thinking Obsidian and Bethesda, but Bethesda were the OGs, right?
Yeah.
So Bethesda, they were considering like completely like redoing the AI in it.
That'd have been a shame.
Yeah, but what they could have done is they could have ironed out all the wrinkles, so you don't get sort of people stuck indoors, gods
People flying off,
gods killing other gods, people flying into the air, or
they could have fixed the bugs. In other words,
people
but they didn't.
people running off a cliff or things like that.
Yeah.
Well, not just bugs, but I think the way that the AI interacts with the world is like
unique to that.
It's
game.
unique, isn't it? And I think it gives it a heart, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what they did is, I think it was like from inputs from fans, they kept the sort of heart of the game, that is the sort of janky AI and stuff like that, and they sort of just concentrated on like building upon that. So like obviously making the graphics a little bit more updated and smoothing out a little bit, few of the bugs. I don't know.
Few of the bugs maybe. Here and there, maybe. Because there's one squash.
I don't know if you hear about this, but like I saw a video on apparently, you get the goblins and in Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you go into the dungeons with the goblins, apparently there's a goblin king, and they have their own sort of hierarchy.
Oh, cool.
There's something in the game. I think there's in the coding, which talks about Goblin Wars.
Cool.
So like. It's like this like hidden layer beneath the game, and no one really knows if it's a thing or not, if it's true or not, because there's been
or unimplemented.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Something they were going to put in and then never finished.
Yes, exactly. And the idea was that as you're playing the game, there's a whole other world going on that you're not aware of. So that there are goblin factions. Going after other goblin factions.
Cool.
And there's actually a totem, and actually this is in the game, I believe. Like there's some goblin jarls or kings, whatever you call them. They call them goblin kings, right?
Yeah.
So the goblin kings have like a staff. And his staff is like a status totem.
Right.
And in order to sort of gain notoriety, other goblin factions, and this is like supposedly, I don't know if it's in the game or not, I haven't like delved into it, but there are a lot of videos. I'll try and links in the description some of the videos on this topic, because it's really fascinating. Apparently they try and steal the totem from other goblin factions, so you've got this whole Goblin Wars going on underneath the game, right?
Cool.
Which I think adds to the emergent storytelling, because all of these little things like just create a world that seems alive,
lived in. Yeah.
And to me, I don't know about you, but to me, like, that is the ultimate form of video game and gaming storytelling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because rather than, I think that's the forte of video games, rather than like with the film, obviously you've got like a linear sort of a linear structure to the script, but with video games, it can be
that.
Exactly, it can be linear, but I'm really grateful that we kind of broke out of that linearity.
Yeah.
And it became more open world, and as a result, we had more emergent storytelling.
Yeah.
I remember hearing there was an article on, it was when Final Fantasy XIII came out.
Oh, right.
And the article said, it was quite a brutal article. It said Final Fantasy and the 15-year con or something like that. It was like a really kind of inflammatory sort of title.
how to start a fight.
Exactly. Flame Wars, like
Flame Wars.
But and so what the whole angle was that in Final Fantasy 13, apparently, and I haven't played that one. I've played a lot of the other Final Fantasies, but not 13. It's not meant to be one of the better ones, I don't think. So you can press up on the joystick, and for the first hour, that's all you're doing.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah,
you press up,
and you're just talking to people,
and you just like obviously you press X past the dialogue, but all you're doing is pressing up. So it's just walking through all of this sort of pre-rendered world that the creators have built for you, and you're just being kind of like force-fed this story from A to B to C to D, without really having any sort of gameplay experience.
Yeah, a mate of mine had that and it was boring. We gave up.
But on the flip side of that, some people, and I especially kind of hear this a lot in board games, like some people like the structure. Okay. So they kind of get a little bit perturbed by the idea of just, okay, go out and do anything.
There you go.
But sometimes, like, some people don't know where to begin, like, you know, and they get lost in the choice, you know. Yeah. There's that axiom, like, art is born of constraints and dies of freedom, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe you need to get a balance, is what I'm trying to say. Like, kind of, you know, you've got to get a balance of having all the story beats, having a narrative arc, but also allowing an emergent storytelling to blossom within that arc, within that structure.
Definitely.
You know? So there's two ways to go about it. But I mean, but then, you know, like with RPGs and so forth, maybe the emergent storytelling creates that narrative structure naturally. Maybe it can, but I mean, you always have, like, even in I'm going to go back to the Elder Scrolls, you know, and I don't know how you play Elder Scrolls. It's a bit like, how do you eat Cadbury's cream egg? It's the Cadbury's cream egg of video games. Like, how do you eat yours? You know, how do you play Elder Scrolls? You know, like, it's like, for me, I ignore the main quest. In fact, I don't think I've completed the main quest for Skyrim, but I've completed everything else. And so, like, you just go off and do loads of side quests, you know. I mean, there was a joy, wasn't it? It's the first time that you murdered someone in cold blood and you got visited by the Dark Brotherhood.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? And they're just standing over your bed.
Yeah, that's a bit...
Yeah. But if you played the game never killing anyone, you wouldn't experience that.
No.
You know.
Because you probably can do a pacifist run.
I don't know anyone who's done that, but...
No, but...
Not a pacifist run, I mean... you know what? There was... Is it the Lefebvre brothers? They did a no... Was it a no combat? They tried to do a no combat run through of Skyrim.
Wow.
And they got to... And this is it. This is a whole episode. They're kind of walking. They get to Riverwood. Then have to kill someone and the episode ends. It's like that was their whole... The whole run was like a few minutes. And then you had to kill someone.
Great.
So I don't think it's possible with that one.
No.
But I do like that. That sort of freedom in games I really appreciate. Like in Breath of the Wild. I don't know if you've played Breath of the Wild.
I have not played Breath of the Wild yet. No.
Well, you can actually go and defeat like some of the final bosses like straight away. So I appreciate, cool. But you're gonna get wrecked, you know. But, but I appreciate there's that sort of level of freedom there, you know. So yeah, emergent storytelling. I'm kind of like wonder where it's going to go next with the you know, with sort of, and really I don't know how much VR's catching on. It's hard to gauge, isn't it?
Yeah.
So do you know anyone who uses VR?
No. Not yet. I got a VR thing and I haven't set it up because I dislike Facebook so much.
yeah.
So I've got to set it up, and it's like, oh man, this is painful. Going through all the hoops and everything.
So do you know if you get motion sickness? Have you tested it yet? Because some people can't do it.
Oh, I'm fine with it.
You're fine with it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Rachel will be able to do it. I'll be all right with it. I don't really get motion sickness from stuff like that, but But speaking about that, going off on a little bit of a tangent here. Do you remember? You remember Robot Wars with Craig Charles, right?
Yeah, that was
It was
awesome.
Craig Charles that did it first, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember Craig Charles's? And I can't remember the name of the episode. He did a show after that with VR.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Just about.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. I did watch an episode on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I think just one episode, and he came up with the catchphrase "awooga, awooga." Do you remember that?
Oh God. Yes.
Yes. And they got people shaking their. There was like in the 90s, like there's a kind of specific sort of like aesthetic to retrofuturism in every decade, right? So the 80s imagined a future, and it was like sort of I think of like Blade Runner, that cyberpunk future, like kind of it's gritty, but it's also kind of got like hackers in it, and it's got like it's still got green screen matrices and stuff like that, and it's still got like kind of almost retro dilapidated sort of technology and things like that, and then you go into the 90s and it's a different sort of aesthetic, isn't it? Now it's more industrial, I guess, and that's what they were going for, but what is it about these game shows, and it's not the only one to do it, where you get a load of people clinging to a wire fence?
Oh yeah, I think that was all the way through the 90s.
That was the whole of the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like in Crystal Maze as well. It's like they're obsessed with like industrial wire fences and people clinging to them.
Yeah, maybe they glued them in one show and then they were just stuck there, so we'll just bring them out for each show. Might as well
use them for every show.
Or the news.
Or maybe like they paid each one like $100, and they say, "Oh, we've got to get our money's worth. You're gonna be shaking this wire fence all day, and we're gonna splice it together
for each show.
Yeah, we're gonna splice it, and then we're gonna sell it to people like in dribs and drabs." And through the whole of the 90s, that's all you see, just that one day.
One day,
footage, that's what it's
that would have been a good way to have done it.
So, like the Scorpions rock you like a hurricane. Yeah. That was from that same session.
Yeah.
As Craig Charles' VR thing.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So, but, like, it was weird, wasn't it? Like, being sort of a child of the early 90s, I remember when I picked up like video. I used to pick up a lot of video game magazines, and you used to see on the front these VR consoles, and they used to like cost an arm and I mean seriously an arm and like hundreds of thousands, wasn't it? But like you'd see articles and it'd say, "Oh yeah, they'll be within each household in like 2 years' time or something," and it took a long time, didn't it, for it to arrive? It took a really long time. And then you had like JK, like Jamiroquai with Virtual Insanity, But it's but I tell you what, my niece has been given a VR actually.
Oh,
so she does VR.
Which one?
I don't know. I'll have to ask. I tried to ask my dad, but he didn't know. So I'll have to ask someone who knows. I'll probably ask her. But I think they play Minecraft in it.
Oh, fair enough.
Which
seems a bit pointless to have like this graphic engine on your head, and then you're just going to play something with voxels. It's all cubes. Why not play something super realistic?
Well, I think there's a charm to that because it's like almost like Lego that you live in. Like you build it up, and also you can get shaders. So like when you play it, it's like really kind of impressive shading and lighting. Okay. So yeah, Minecraft now is very different to Minecraft when it first started.
Oh, fair enough.
Saying that, I do like OG Minecraft, so I'm in the camp that really likes that. But
that's fair enough.
Yeah, like it's a really interesting sort of place that we're going to. I mean, I was playing through Cyberpunk 2077, and you have some really interesting things that happen within it. So, first of all, you're playing the game, and you could like when you first play, there's a lot of sort of it's almost like on rails to begin with.
Yeah.
But then you break free of that, and you can kind of go to different fixers.
Yeah.
So every region has its own fixer.
Yeah.
And a fixer gets you jobs and things like that, you know.
That's cool.
And then as you kind of gain notoriety with the fixers, they get you better jobs and things like that. But you can play the game how you want. You don't need to do that. What you can do, and I'm actually do a series of this. I was thinking of doing a series where we're like Wolf Boys are vigilantes.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Because my character is so OP in Cyberpunk now. So I built my character up, and then there's this really cool device in it where you can reset your stats and then build your character again.
That's cool.
And there's like, so it's like a pentagon or like a pentagraph, I guess, where you've got 5 points, you know, and so you can put it in. See if I can remember off the top of my head. You can put it in points in intelligence. It goes with 20. So it's intelligence, cool, just cool.
Just cool. Yeah, man. Cool.
Technical.
Yeah.
So like good with technology. Yeah. Body, which means like strength and building, like installing cyberware and stuff like that.
Right. Very Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, and what was there was one other one. I'm trying to think now. So you've got intelligence, technical, body, cool, and the other one whose name escapes me. There's one more. What's the other one? Oh, it comes to me. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So, so I reset my stats.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, you know, I want to kind of like be more of a kind of hacker. You know, more of a an edge runner. They call it in the game.
Cool.
So then I reset my stats because before I was like I had the Sandevistan where I kind of slowed down time.
That's
so
cool.
I was like a bit of a ninja. I'd go around and I'd like kind of slow down time, then slice my way through everyone, and then when time speeds up, everyone falls to the ground.
That's
like,
cool.
Do you remember the anime?
Yeah.
So if anyone hasn't seen the anime Cyberpunk Edge Runners, go and see it immediately after this episode. But go and see it, and you'll binge it. It's awesome, and it really kind of.
We binged the whole
thing. We binged it all night, and it's really sort of doesn't pull any punches, you know, but it's well worth watching.
Yeah.
So, you can rebuild your character up. Now, one of the things in that game, and one of the ways that it deals with emergent storytelling, is that. And I went down the rabbit hole. You kind of like go into different Reddit threads, and there are people talking about how their builds.
Oh,
so their builds are you can install implants into your arms, implants into your eyes, implants into your brain.
Cool.
Implants in your body, implants in your legs, and all of these do different things. And like kind of when you put it together, you can trigger combos, and it's
cool.
Brilliant. It so reminded me of a board game where you're like there's something in board game called deck building. So it reminded me of deck building where like you start off with like basic cards, and that's your like basic build, right? Your basic bitch. And then you got what you do is you'll get more cards into your hand that give you stats, and these stats combo what you're ideally trying to do is get one set of stats to combo with another stat and to kind of like, you know, like kind of integrate in a synergistic way. So like one thing feeds into another thing and sets off a chain reaction, and then you create a powerful sort of build based on all of these little components. So Cyberpunk did the same thing, and I've been going down the rabbit hole with it. I've been trying to, and the great thing with it is, yes, you can only reset your stats once, but here's the thing, you know, the perks, which so every attribute has its own perk tree.
Oh, cool!
Right, so you can go off on a tree of like, you know, heavy machine guns, the heavy machine gun tree, or you can go down the tree of like grenades and things like that, you know, like kind of like
I've always been useless with grenades.
No, I didn't do that.
I've blown myself up more times with grenades than anything else.
Well, the good thing is I haven't really gone strong in grenades with this build.
That's good.
I've gone strong in hacking. So
cool.
Yeah, and so and also you can you can do all the different tech trees and all the different things. Mm-hmm. So I went heavy in hacking, right? And so with my character build, I have got to a point where I've got the most. So you have what's called a cyber deck.
Cool.
And the cyber deck enables you to get installs, and so the installs are called quick hacks.
Right.
So think of the cyber deck as your sort of your VR that you put on, and then you plug things into the VR.
Oh,
so you plug quick
cool.
hacks into it, and the quick hacks enable you to do different powers.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. So one of the quick hacks that I've got is burnt synapses.
Ooh,
or synapse burnout. Exactly. So what you can do is overload their brain, and their brain just like burns out, and the head pops and like fizzes like that. Yeah. And so your synapse burn out, right, which costs a lot of RAM.
Yeah.
So if you've got to get a cyber deck with a lot of RAM in order to trigger some of the quick hacks.
Right.
And then depending on what your level is, you have level 1 to 5 quick hacks. And then you have level 5 plus, then level 5 plus plus, and then you get iconic quick hacks and iconic guns and stuff. So you go down the rabbit hole. It gets really, really deep.
Cool.
But all of these things where you can really customize your character, you should see the Reddit threads on it. So many people have approached the builds in all different ways.
Cool.
So what I wanted to say is with the perks, the tech tree, you can reset all of your perks and build them again. So as many times as you want. So
That's
you can,
cool.
Obviously, when you're locked in combat, you can't do it. But when you're outside combat, you can just say, okay, I'm going to start again. Sod this. You're going to get rid of all your perks, then build it up again, and see synergistically what works with what.
Against two.
Yeah, but I think what that does also, coming back to emergent storytelling, that gives your character originality.
Yeah.
It makes you feel a little bit more unique in the world.
Yeah.
So another thing that helps with and talking about Cyberpunk specifically, what helps with emergent storytelling in that game is that you could go throughout the Night City is the name of the city, and you'll get a message on your phone. And it'll say it'll come from the NCPD, Night City Police Department. Yeah, right. NCPD. So the NCPD will message and it'll say it'll send a message out to sort of hunters, I think, or I don't know what they call them, or bounty hunters.
Right.
And they'll say there's a reward if you get this gang.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so these will just come, and I think they're sort of randomised, they're kind of procedurally generated almost. So every time you'll go in Night City, you'll be kind of travelling, and you'll kind of come across a gang that'll be up to no good, and you can just get out
in the neighbourhood.
in the neighbourhood, and get out your car,
blown away.
Now, one of the things that also happens is if you're shooting the gangs and you're not careful, the cops are going to go after you.
Yeah, if you shoot a cop.
Yeah, and one of the other things that can happen is, if you're clever about it, you can say shoot. So you could start something with one gang, run away from them, and then lead them to another gang that are starting shit, and then they have a whole warfare.
Get rid of them that way.
Now, what I like to do, and this kind of leads to a lot of different scenarios, is stand off to the side, right? And as the gangs are doing stuff, what you can do is I've got a quick hack called cyber psychosis.
Oh wow!
So I can give someone in the gang cyber psychosis. They go crazy and start shooting the rest of the gang, and then the rest of the gang go after that guy.
Yeah. And
then you can just slip by and kind of go into the compound and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So so you can do that. So there's all different things you can do with it.
Cool.
So I thought one of the things we could do on the channel is I wanted to do sort of a narrative edited sort of thing where we vigilantes going around Night City.
That'd be cool.
and like one of the other things is you can hack into this. Is kind of like turned into talking about Cyberpunk, but I love Cyberpunk. It's probably my favourite game. You know,
cool. It's a damn good game.
It's
though,
really
isn't it?
good. It's so good. It's like absolutely brilliant. And nailed the Cyberpunk aesthetic to a T. You know, because I'm a big fan of like William Gibson's Neuromancer and the trilogy. You know, like you got Neuromancer, Mona Lisa Overdrive, Burning Chrome. And also Neil Stephenson's Snow Crash is awesome. So I really love like the cyberpunk novels, you know. And some of the concepts in it, like I think, are kind of from the novels. You know, you can see where they got the inspiration from. But they really paid homage to it really in a really good way. And it's got one of the best, like that game has got one of the best sort of, you know, redemption arcs in all of gaming. How they started off and it was just a janky mess. Yeah. Everyone hated it. And now people say it's like God tier and like, you know, one of the best games ever created. So how did you go from that such meager beginnings to become such a giant, you know? Yeah. And it's like, I think it's...
people should have waited. It just proves that people should have waited for it.
And you know, I think that's a stigma of modern game design, isn't it? Where they're kind of... They're trying to push it out with bugs and say, oh, we'll patch it later.
Yeah, it's a bad way
so to do it. We'll patch it later. And then the same thing happened with No Man's Sky, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, so that's it for today with the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll probably do some more if you know, if you enjoyed that. Send us in some like topics that you'd like us to cover in the comments. We always want to, you know, it's always good to hear from you. And so as always, stay wild, and I'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.